Hello and welcome to the GCN Tech Show.
This week we have new products from Shimano, from Bontrager, Specialized and Easton. We got old products from Oakley, Colnago and Campagnolo.
And we'll be discussing whether you can make money from buying a bike. Right, what's hot in the tech world this week?
Well, I tell you what, fresh from the news, the sad news coming out of the Shimano factory last week that they had suffered a fire, there is some good news for them and for us too, really good news, because there's a new 105 group set that's just been launched. Oh yes, features loads of trickle-down tech, perhaps most notably I would have said the new 105 level hydraulic disc brakes. And you haven't got long to wait either. It's going to be in the shops in June.
Now, visually, it looks so similar to Ultegra and Dura-Ace, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, really similar.
It gets a big tick in my box. Also, the rear derailleur on it, that takes that shadow style technology from the other rear mechs in the group set offerings. So essentially, keeping that rear derailleur a little bit closer in the frame and also tucked away underneath the cassette as well. So out of harm's way, really.
Exactly, yeah.
Also, the hydraulic brake levers, they're nice and slimline, aren't they?
They are indeed.
Previously, they used to be pretty big, didn't they?
Yeah, they were on the big side. Shimano said they take the same design as the Ultegra ones, which would be kind of cool. I can't wait to get my hands on them, literally.
I actually took a look at them a couple of days ago, so there's a link to the video in the description down below where you can see more in depth on the new components there.
Yeah, now Shimano have been busy, clearly, haven't they? Because they also announced a new addition to the Ultegra line. So the Trek Segafredo team have apparently been testing a new rear derailleur during the Cobbled Classics. It is called the Shimano Ultegra RX.
Right, well, what's so special about it then? Well, it's Shimano's first road rear derailleur to feature a clutch mechanism. So that means that basically it's going to keep the chain with much higher tension, reducing the chance of chain slap. However, there is a slight downside to it. The increase in drivetrain resistance. Maybe a watt or half a watt, but you can switch on and off that clutch easily. So, yeah.
Or maybe you just don't bother switching it off and you forget about the watt that you're losing.
I guess.
Maybe. Now, although it might be Shimano's first clutch derailleur for the road, it's not the first clutch derailleur on the road because SRAM, of course, have their one-by setup, which is quite similar, works on the same principle. But that is, of course, for one-by, whereas this is designed for double chainrings. Although, worth mentioning that Shimano have taken this technology straight from their mountain bike group set. I think it's the Shadow RD Plus technology. And those group sets can be bought in a one-by setup. So maybe this is the first sign that you can run Ultegra one-by. Bit of a hack, maybe. But
I knew he was going to bring up one-by.
So I'm not obsessed or anything.
He couldn't let it go, could he?
Oh, I'm not obsessed, but there you go. For Shimano users, maybe you can run one-by.
Maybe. Do you know what, Si? I would like that clutch mech to be Di2 operated.
Well, it can be. You can get it in Di2 or you can get it mechanical, mate.
No, I mean there's a sequence of buttons that you press on your Di2 levers and it goes from clutch mechanism to non-clutch mechanism. So if you're riding on a really smooth road, you don't lose that half a watt or watt of added resistance. And then when you reach the rough stuff, you just press those buttons and away you go.
I think that might be a bit of a waste of human resource thinking about that. You could always just flick it with your toe, maybe, whilst you're riding along.
Flick it with your toe.
On, off.
It's tucked away, isn't it, with that shadow tech? But yeah, you never know.
Stick it in the 11, it'll be there.
It's food for thought. Di2 hackers, have a go. Let us know.
There's no motor. You'd have to attach a motor onto the derailleur to flip that switch for you.
Someone will do it out there.
Yeah, I know, but you're going to lose that half a watt.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to us, does it? Anyway, more tech later.
It does to me. There is no denying it, unfortunately. Bikes can cost a lot of money. Like, a lot of money, can't they? But could you ever actually make money out of your bike?
Yeah, now we're not talking about being a Deliveroo rider, a courier, a postman. We're talking about buying a bike and then selling it on for a profit. That's a dream, isn't it?
That is the dream. And unfortunately, I've never come anywhere close to it. I'm rubbish at selling things secondhand. Well, I'm pretty bad at the selling stuff, but I literally can't even part with stuff. And I imagine, given that I'm sat next to a man with 15 bikes in his loft, that you're pretty crap at that as well.
Terrible.
But the reason we were thinking about this was because we've been browsing eBay for bikes and parts. John needed a 16th bike for his collection, and we were absolutely amazed at the prices some things are being listed for.
Yeah. Take, for example, this Colnago Master Steel road bike.
Lovely.
That's going for an astonishing $110,000.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But then it is a limited edition of a limited edition, isn't it?
Yeah.
So there were 38 Colnago Master Pista track frames that were been hand painted by the graffiti artist Futura. But then the prototypes of those were actually road frames, of which clearly that is one of them.
Yeah. And I remember seeing one of those Master Pista track frames back in 2003 for the price of $1,200. Okay, it was minus that fancy paintwork.
Okay.
But still, that's a big old price hike, isn't it?
It is a big old price
Bit of
hike.
paint.
So clearly then, if your bike becomes art, you can make money out of it. I mean, the Futura design is one of a number of collaborations over the years, isn't it? Remember the Lance Armstrong Damien Hirst bike that he rode in 2009? Yeah, so this Trek Madon had real butterfly wings lacquered underneath, underneath the lacquer, clearly. And that one went for the princely sum of $500,000. Oh yeah. Ching-ching. There is, of course, quite a significant problem with that, in that for most of us, getting a top artist to customise our bikes is probably quite unlikely, or indeed expensive in the first place. I mean, you can imagine the conversation going, hey, Damien, do you mind sticking some dead butterflies on my bike, please? Yes, that's £500,000, mate, to get me to do that. And be like, all right, probably leave it there, mate. Yeah.
Must be a cross line.
Yeah, I'll just go for nude carbon.
However, there is one solution around this site. Vintage or antiques, that kind of thing.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So I actually follow an Instagram account called Premium Cycling. And the owner of this, he used to be a pro rider and he got fourth in the 2011 Strada Bianchi.
All right.
And when he raced that, he absolutely fell in love with vintage bikes and set it up from there.
Yeah, well, you can see that he's got a whole load of stuff listed on there. But how do you actually make money from it? How does he make money from it? I mean, there's some pretty big price tags on some pretty old stuff on there, isn't there?
I reckon the key to it basically is Italian products, old Italian products, because that's where essentially the heritage of cycling lies for a lot of collectors out there.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to tell you a little story here, so bear with me. So back in 2004, some friends of mine were out in Italy and we visited a bike shop that looked, well, kind of a little bit run down. The guy wasn't doing a lot of business. We went in there and at the corner of my eye, I got a glimpse of some Campagnolo Shimals. Remember the old silver deep rims?
Indeed, mate. Very nice.
They were brand new. So anyway, asked how much they were. Right, okay. Asked me if he had any more stuff like this. And before we knew it, this place was like an Aladdin's cave, Santa's grotto. It was a gold mine for him, potentially. However, all the prices on it were in lira. They were that old. And he brought out all this stuff. And yeah, we left with quite a large amount of stuff in the end. And
so go on then. Did you make money out of it?
Well, I didn't get rich, but we did make a little bit of cash. Yeah.
Is it important though that stuff was new? Because if so, that's quite a flaw in our dream plan, isn't it? Which is of course buy bike, ride bike, sell bike for profit.
Yeah. Keeping it in good condition certainly helps with the prices.
All right, we can do that.
Yeah. But if you're looking on eBay, look for NOS, new old stock, and that keeps the prices nice and
okay,
high.
So yeah, you're not allowed to ride it. No. All right, what about ex-race bikes then? Because I've certainly noticed there's a few on eBay knocking around at some pretty inflated prices, including a Miguel Indurain Pinarello TT bike for a cool $75,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Or just a snip, $15,000 for one of Mario Cipollini's TT bikes. And I'll tell you what, that would be a bargain, possibly, because it wouldn't have been ridden in anger, because old Chippo, he didn't like to press on in time trials, did he?
Yeah, that's a good point, that.
But if we're thinking now about investing for the future, I reckon you're going to have to go pretty big and put some cash down straight away. So you're going to look at a custom painted bike of someone like Cavendish, Sagan, Greg Van Avermaet, that kind of rider.
Okay.
Serious investment now.
Yeah, this is getting slightly depressing now, isn't it? So we've got art, we've got stuff you can't ride, and stuff that's flipping expensive in the first place. So there must be another way around this. I mean, you, of course, have an entire attic full of old crap. Are you going to get round to selling some of that stuff? Make money?
Firstly, I must say it's not crap. Now, do you know what? I probably will. I mean, I'm not in a real hurry right now, but there's probably someone out there who's got this ultimate retro build that they want to make up. And there's probably, I don't know, an old dual race chain set that would go perfectly on it. But there's one thing which I really don't want to part with, and that's my Campagnolo Delta brakes.
But do you think you can make money on this stuff?
I reckon that some of it I would do, yeah. I never really pressed on that hard when I raced, so most of that stuff was old race.
No, to be fair, you and Cipollini, you do have one thing in common, at least, don't you?
Well, yeah. Well, yeah, one thing.
Yeah. All right.
Didn't press on in time trials.
Right, enough about John Cannellini. I think basically what we're saying here, isn't it, is that you can make money out of bikes, but it's an investment in a piece of history which you then can't really ride afterwards. So if you've got the cash, fine, but for the majority of us, let's say ride a bike, love riding that bike, look after it, and ride stuff you can afford to replace.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
But let's ask the viewers to list their products in the comments down below. What they think, if you buy now, will be worth plenty in years to come.
Yeah, if you keep it in a box,
Yeah.
somewhere safe. Or in fact, if you're already a big buyer and a seller, what are the products that you have made money on?
yeah.
And are we missing a trick here?
Yeah. Or have you lost money even?
Yeah. There's probably a few bits and bobs, aren't there?
Yeah.
Knocking around.
So last week, we asked you if your bike can be too good for you. And we put it to the vote.
We did.
And surprisingly, 63% of you said no, it can't be too good for you.
I think that's really cool. That is a good answer. We also had loads of good comments, didn't we? Do you want to open it up?
I do, yeah. First up, Derek Biggerstaff. If you can afford a very good bike and will enjoy owning it, you should go for it. But be wary of unrealistic expectations. It's not going to transform you.
Well, that's a fairly good point, isn't it?
Yeah,
This
true.
next comment, though, I really love. This is from Russell Zechner. My giant Defy Pro Zero bike with Di2, power meter, and a fancy computer is far superior to the abilities that my now 70-year-old body could ever achieve. However, my wife allowed me to purchase it as a reward for finally getting our 5 children through college. It puts a smile on my face, and I never tire of showing off both my bike and my wife's loving thoughtfulness. That is cool.
Yeah, what a story. I absolutely
amazing.
love that.
Yeah.
Nice one, Russell.
Yeah.
Next up, Charlie Kai. You won't go fast unless you think you're fast. So expensive bike does make you go faster physically and mentally.
I like it.
Yeah.
Very true, actually.
Mental games.
You
don't
won't
they?
necessarily go fast if you think you're fast, but you won't go fast if you don't think you're fast. So yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Next one, we've got this from Highside57. This is a joy of cycling. My wife bought me a beautiful high-end Monda for Christmas a couple of years ago. I'm 60 and overweight, but every time I get on the bike, it makes me smile. Meanwhile, my friends on their 500-pound steeds grin when they overtake me, so we're all happy. Yeah, there you go. When you reach my age, you have long given up worrying about looking stupid. It's happened way too often. Yeah, I think that's great. Fantastic.
Absolutely brilliant. And then lastly, Tom Humphrey. The only time your bike can be too good for you is if you don't ride it. I don't agree with that because I've got 15 of those in the roof.
But yeah, so this was a point that I raised last week, is that not riding it isn't necessarily a crime. It's not appreciating it that's the crime. So if it's on your wall or in your attic, but you love it anyway, then that's cool.
Yeah.
It's just if you don't appreciate it and you trash it or you just take it for granted, that's bad.
Throwing it on the
Yeah.
floor, that kind of thing.
Yeah, anyway, thank you very much for getting involved in the comments section down below. We enjoyed reading them very much indeed.
Right, so back to some new tech, and Bontrager have just launched some new wheels, the Aeolus XXX Carbon. And they come in 3 different versions with a 28mm, 47 and 68mm depth.
Yeah, although technically there are 12 permutations going on because they come in both clincher and tubular versions, in rim brake and disc brake.
Yeah.
It's a lot of rims.
They've been really busy because actually they've got a 34-page white paper explaining the aerodynamic benefits of these new wheels. Now, we're not going to go too in depth with them right here because over on GCN, we took a closer look.
Some top line details, perhaps notably, is the laser etched braking track. So Bontrager reckon that this gives braking performances on a par with an alloy rim, which is a pretty major claim, isn't it? Anyway, if you want to see a little bit more about that, then if you click up there, you get to see Dan and Matt talking you through it.
So sticking with wheels, Easton have just announced some new disc brake wheels. Yep, disc brakes again.
All roads lead back to this.
These are the EC90 Aero 85 wheels, which the 85 stands for 85mm, and that's the rim depth.
That is mighty deep, isn't it? We don't see many rims that deep these days, do we?
Very rare. Now, important as well is that the tyre width, well, basically they're designed for tyres of width 25mm or above because the external rim width is 28mm wide.
That's a wide old rim. But interestingly, the internal rim width is only 19mm, so it's nowhere near as wide as you can get these days. Not like the Bontragers we just before, or the Zips. Anyway, perhaps what is important to many viewers, and understandably so, is the free hub. So they've got a 60 notched ring driver. Which means basically that you get an instantaneous pickup when you start pedaling, and perhaps more importantly, your free hub makes a very cool noise. The weight is 1,800 grams for the pair. No word on price as yet, but one thing that is strikingly cool is the guarantee that Easton are offering. Now, if I've got this correct, they will repair or replace your wheels no matter what happens. So if you are racing, and obviously, you know, you can bust a wheel and it's not your fault, that's quite a good insurance policy, isn't it?
Yeah. What if they do it if you take them off road as well?
Why would you take an 85mm deep wheel off road?
Because they're guaranteed. Why not? Now, Specialized have just launched a Peter Sagan range of products, maybe ideal for any future collectors out there. Now, it's set to include a Tarmac SL6 bike, shoes and a helmet. But if a bit of bling is not your thing, turn away. No, in fact, don't. Stay with us.
Yeah. So apparently Sagan has worked with designers to create an artistic representation of his style.
What do you reckon of it? Something to buy and maybe sell for a bit of profit in the future? Or do you just not like it? Or do you like it? Anyway, let us know in the comments down below what you really do think of it.
We were talking on the GCN show about whether or not it was allowed to be gold, given that he's not won the Olympics. Anyway, that's controversy we will not get into here and now. Instead, we're going to talk about this. This is a bike from Burke Composites. Now, given that we're all getting excited about Paris-Roubaix, it does seem slightly at odds, given that this would probably not really enjoy the cobbles, and you would certainly not enjoy riding it on the cobbles. No. But there we go. If you look closely at this, then they have not only their own bars and stem on there, but actually they have what appears to be a one-piece saddle, seat post, and frame.
Mate, I absolutely love this, right? Is that Jules Burke, the guy behind it, has gone to the effort of doing it. Nuts, absolutely nuts.
Well, your nuts would not be thanking you on a one-piece carbon saddle frame.
I can't think of the resale value of that either.
Yeah, imagine that. Is your saddle height 775mm? This could be the bike for you.
Yeah, it is, it is.
Oh, hang on a minute, what's your layback?
Oh, 76.
No, sorry mate, layback 69mm on this one.
No,
yeah, never mind.
Still, chapeau to him for trying that.
Sometimes it's good to do things for the sake of doing.
Absolutely love it.
Except trying to hack a Shimano Ultegra RX rear mech and make it dual race Di2. That's not worth doing.
Right, it's time to put another product into our wall of fame. And after last week, when I watched Si put in the Spinergy wheels, I was incredibly jealous.
Yeah, it was just weird as well. I got sent a pair after that as well, mate. It's just, yeah, I know, sorry about that. They're really nice. No, I'm only kidding. Anyway, this week we are going for another absolute classic, but from an earlier decade. It is the Oakley Factory Pilots.
Jaw-dropping.
Well, yeah, jaw-dropping, not jaw-breaking.
No.
Now, Oakley first started out life making motocross grips and goggles before, in 1984, out popped the Factory Pilots, which was a huge departure from the traditional aviator-style sunglasses, well, that existed up to then. In fact, Larcy and I were talking just the other week about how Bernard Hinault broke his nose on his Ray-Bans in the 1985 Tour de France.
I quite like, though, those old black and white images of the guys wearing them. But anyway, apparently Greg LeMond, he actually bought his first pair, and prior to the 84 Tour de France, rang up Oakley because he wanted to buy some new lenses for them, some spare lenses. Right, I'm so excited about this because you don't imagine pros ringing up a company. All right, yeah, I'd like to buy some spare lenses.
It's happened a bit, though, hasn't it, through the ages? SRM cranks, lightweight wheels, and Assos shorts as well, back in the 70s. Now, perhaps it was the tech, as much as anything, that attracted bike riders to these, because by, 1987, half the peloton were wearing them. They had these things called tear-off lenses. They had like a sticky film that when it got covered in crap, you could literally just tear it off, and that's come from motocross, where obviously you do get a lot of crap stuck to your glasses, but probably not all that much on the road, do you? But maybe it was just the fact they looked amazingly cool.
They certainly did. One thing, though, that wasn't cool was that they had like this foam sweatband across the top of the sunglasses. And for people like you and I who sweat a lot when we ride...
I don't sweat very much, mate.
Okay, so people like me who sweat a lot when we ride, basically that just became unstuck and fell off. I don't know if it affected the vision. I'm too young to remember. I never actually had a pair. But, you know, for me, Oakley, they just always seem to get things right with eyewear.
Well, almost always, John, but probably not in this instance.
Yeah, okay. Oh, they are terrible, aren't they?
Yeah.
But I'm sure they look cool to someone out there. The designer.
Well, maybe a collector's item, John. Anyway, let us know in the comment section, of course, what you feel deserves a place in our Wall of Fame, in fact. Get involved in the comment section down below. What's coming up next? Time for results.
Yeah.
First of all, we had the Met Trenta 3K Carbon helmet in our unboxing recently, and we've got our 5 winners.
We have.
Are you ready? First of all, we have Matija Krivic from Slovenia. We've got Daniel Legault from Canada. We've got Dave Attar from Australia. Jason Junior Martins Valadares from Brazil. And then Victor Perez from the United States. Congratulations to all of you. We will be in touch, and then you'll get your helmets. Brilliant.
Now, if you didn't win there, we've got another competition for you over on GCN to win an Orbea as part of the Tour of the Basque Country. Their home race, basically, isn't it? Because that's where they're based. Now, you can win, what is it, an Orbea?
Orca M20 Team D with the Mayo customization option.
Imagine that. Bike just how you want it. Collector's item, possibly. Head on over there. There's a link in the description down below, and you can enter that competition. Good luck.
It's time for Bike of the Week now. We give you a choice of 2, and you have to choose and vote for your favourite one. Now, last week, I gave the viewers the option of choosing their favourite smart casual bike, it was, of course, Gravel Week, out of the Canyon Grail or the 3T Explorer. And the results, well, they were weighted pretty heavily in favour of the 3T Explorer. Wow. So I'm wondering whether or not funky handlebars are putting people off slightly innovation in the form of the Canyon. But a worthy win of the Explorer. There's an absolute beauty of a bike.
Nice looking bike, that.
Yeah.
But let's talk about this week then.
Come on then.
Right, let's put head to head the 2 winning bikes of the Tour of Flanders.
Ooh, good idea.
Yeah. So in the blue corner of Quickstep Floors is the Specialized S-Works Tarmac SL6 Shimano 9150 Dura Ace Di2 group set, Roval wheels, one of those specialized 4i power meters. Lovely looking bike.
And it's got rim brakes, whereas
yes, it has.
The winning bike from the Women's Tour of Flanders was this Specialized Tarmac SL6 disc. Yeah, and that's got SRAM red E-tap. It's also got zip wheels, and it's got a Quark power meter on there. So which one are you going to go for?
Vote up there.
I know which one I'm going for, mate.
Oh, of course he is. Right, don't let him influence you as ever. And next week we'll reveal the results and have 2 more head-to-head. Okay, it's time for the bike vault.
That's right, John is back, and you've brought the Horn of Death with you, haven't you, mate?
Yep, I have.
That's right. Now, before we get started, just it feels like we need a quick word of explanation about how the bike vault works. Yeah, because although we love seeing pictures of amazingly beautiful, expensive bikes, we don't want the bike vault to be just about amazingly beautiful, expensive bikes, which is why you get points for things like the backdrop, the composition of the photo, imagination, random dogs, you know, so you can have like, you know, a modestly priced bike, but it can still get a super nice rather than just being the preserve of, you know, people that can afford it. Yeah, basically. So that's the reason why the bike vault is trying to be inclusive, okay? So if you get a little bit upset, if, you know, a super nice bike doesn't get a super nice because it's got a boring backdrop, that is why.
Yeah, so if you're planning on going to the moon soon, take a bike with you, put it up there, you're bound to get a super nice.
Pretty much, unless
you're
of course,
probably going to be quite rich so if you're going to the moon.
Well, yeah, or maybe the valves might be in the wrong place, in which case you won't get a super nice.
That's gravity.
Yeah.
Right, let's crack on though with this week's.
Ooh.
Right, Dylan Jeffers, San Francisco Bay, that's the view over it. It's Trekmadome, Dura 7900 by the looks of things.
It looks like a Project One as well.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Look at the lighting of that. You know, everything about that is right.
I love the fact that it looks like his bike is literally like just staring at the view going, that's great, isn't it? What a view. Like
Super
the
nice.
bike's got like feelings. Yeah.
Super nice.
Go on, mate, straight out of the blocks.
No arguments there.
No.
Right.
Ooh.
Who we got now? We've got Eddie Krinelberg. He is from Marianne University in Indianapolis.
He's got a beer can, John.
Yeah, he has. Yes, you are
on his
right.
bike.
Yeah, he's. Oh yeah, I remember this actually. He just finished a race. I think a university race, collegiate race, and he said that was just a bit of refreshment afterwards.
Nice,
so he's got
good lad.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, bonus points for that. He's got a pair of zip wheels, John, but only one has got the zip decals on, and that's messing with my head a little bit.
Is one a 404 and one a 303? It looks like it, doesn't it? They look like different depths. But it is messing with my head a little bit. Maybe it's the white decals that are doing that. I don't know, Eddie.
Because the white decals are faster, aren't they? I mean, that's like...
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, there's zip wheels with white decals, even though the NSW ones don't come with white decals. But what are we going to say anyway? I mean, because that is a blooming nice bike.
Yeah. And do you know what? He's taken it off into the dirt. Not a lot of people would do that, actually, would they? Not with just a specific road bike. Personally, I think because he's got that can of beer in there, he's finished the race, he's rehydrating, very important. He gets a super nice from me.
Go on then, super nice.
Nice one, Eddie. Right.
Whoa.
Now, do you know what? I'm going to leave this one up to you.
Collector's item. There we go. It's another Specialized Alley Sprint. Isn't this one of those? Isn't it one of those trendy like? I know it's not a fixie bike, but they've got like their fixie team, haven't they? That's got like that paint job. I mean, that is lovely.
It's too trendy for us, isn't it? Because obviously, we don't know about it.
No, but that is a very, very cool looking bike. Again, great photography. I believe that's the Sakura Blossom in Japan. That happens in March.
Yeah.
John, are we going to have super nices the whole way through this? Because I can't give that anything other than a super nice, because that is smoking hot.
The paintwork. You know, even if it was a dull background, because of the paintwork, do you know what it gets? The horn.
It's giving you the horn.
Super nice.
Why have we not made that gag before? Right then. Oh, look at the backdrop. Durango, Colorado. Joey Pinkerton with his Cervelo R5? R3. That's cool.
Well,
that is a lovely bike, isn't it?
You've touched the spot there, I think.
Matching bottles.
Backdrop.
Although they kind of clash ever so slightly with the fluoro pink, but a fluoro pink? I don't know why I just said that. It's clearly green. It's been a long day. Where's that beer? No, I think that is cool.
Yeah, I do like that colour.
Seriously, you've picked all super nices.
It's unusual, isn't it, that bike? Like the colour. Reminds me of the old Great Britain world-class performance plan bikes in the late 90s.
I remember them well. It's not that unusual because Cervelo do sell that colour.
Yeah,
but,
I know, but
I like it.
Of them. Yeah, super nice from me.
Go on then, mate.
Well done, Joey. Right.
Ooh,
last one this week.
retro.
A little curveball. I like to throw one of those in from time to time.
What is that, John?
It's a 1975 MotoBCane Team Champion. And this is Michael Mirigian from California.
Well, I tell you what, I like the photo, John. I like the backdrop, and I'm taken with that bike.
He's gone fully orange. I wonder if he's got any Dutch heritage with that amount of orange.
That's cool, isn't it?
He's got a new chain set on there, but, you know, it looks all right, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, turbo saddle.
Oh, love a turbo. Yeah.
You're hesitating, though, I sense, John. What's the hesitation, mate? Tell us what you're thinking. Come on, John, tell us what you're thinking.
It's the rear mech. I know that in that era they did have these funny angles, but look how vertical it is.
Whoa, mate, you can't take points off for having a rear mech of the era.
I know. And it is Reynolds, probably 531 tubes as well. Do you know what, Si?
Go on, mate.
I think we've got a clean sweep.
Oh!
I think we've got a clean sweep, and I've lost the thing for the thing. I found it.
There we go. 5 super nices. What a week.
I know.
And one pink bike that wasn't pink at all, it was green.
Yeah, I like to just throw in a curveball like that MotoBCane. But remember as well, though, to submit your entry to the Bike Vault using the email address on screen now and include where you come from so we know exactly where to give you a shout out.
Absolutely. And no dogs this week, but we'll look out for some more next week.
We'll have a look.
Right then, we are getting towards the end of the show, unfortunately, but there is time for John to tell us what's coming up on the channel this week.
Well, on Saturday, we've got Hannah Barnes' training bike. That's right, I got to look at another training bike. On Sunday, we've got a Geek Edition mid-range versus superbike.
Oof.
Monday, we've got a special maintenance edition where we give you a 5-minute tune-up of your gears.
Nice. And then on Wednesday, it's Ask GCN Tech, isn't it? Do keep your eyes on the main GCN channel as well. We've got a whole load of cool vids on there, including some techie ones, like the actual big mid-range versus superbike test video. So you asked us to put a slightly more expensive bike against a superbike, see how that fared, and the results are pretty blooming interesting, I will say. Now, if you want to watch another video right now, what about the Geek Edition that we released last week, which is all about tyre width? That one is just down there. But before going, do make sure you give this video a big thumbs up.
Share it with your friends.